Hey guys, how's it going? I'm here with Baby Investment. We're doing a collab today. Uh, I'll let him introduce himself. Go ahead, baby.
Hey guys, how's it going? Sorry kid, I really had to do this. I love your interest and I'm happy you brought that back, by the way. And also thank you for having me on the channel, it means a lot. So,
Let me just butt in a little bit. I actually stole that from somebody on YouTube. So
that's alright, you know, the best things in life are stolen. Like the Beatles stole some shit from some other bands and whatnot, so it's quite alright.
Okay.
So, yeah, who am I? My name is Antonio, and I'm the CEO and co-founder of the Baby YouTube channel and the Baby Consulting Company, which is a real company based in Belgium, which is quite far away from you, though. But if you want to come visit, you're always welcome. We have a bunk bed in the office. So if you want to come, you're always welcome.
You're in Belgium?
Yeah, so I'm based in Belgium. I'm not Belgian myself. My parents are from all over the place. I've also lived like all over the place, Europe, also South Africa and whatnot. So yeah.
I thought you were from the U.S., but I didn't.
Really?
I didn't. I was surprised when you said you were from Belgium. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't know. Okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
I always thought I had an accent.
You do have an accent. I have an accent too, but you know, my only language is English. So that's a little hilarious in my. Well, I used to know Vietnamese, but I forgot it because I've been speaking English so long, and I just kind of ignore Vietnamese, even though I sound like I have a huge accent. Anyways, so let's begin with some questions I have for you. So, what motivated you to start a YouTube channel?
Well, the motivation behind it's always big, and actually the idea, you know how they say that people get all the greatest ideas in the shower? Yeah, well, that wasn't the case for me. I've always wanted to start a consulting company and work my way to a private fund manager or even a private bank in the future. But since I was actually still based in Europe, like in Belgium, the market over here is really small. And you have all different languages in Europe, cultures. You have like French and German and whatnot. You have different paychecks and so on. So I decided to first make myself familiar on the internet and then start a company so that I can consult people in English via the internet, like, you know, chat apps, Skype, like we're doing right now, Fiverr, etc. So I started making some videos and then I started posting them on YouTube. But, you know, at first, actually, my channel wasn't the way it is right now. So at first, it was only it was not only investing itself. It was like self-development, business development, personal finance, all of that things that were on that too. But after a few months, I realized that there already are a lot of giant accounts helping people to achieve all of that. So I decided to go niche and start helping people with something they really needed help with. Like, for example, I mean, right now that's investing in like more exciting and interesting stocks. You know, I was kind of sick of people like mimicking YouTube portfolios, and like people are going to watch Financial Education Jeremy and they're going to mimic and do the exact same portfolio as him. And they were holding like 2 or 4 stocks. I personally know people that hold 2 or 4 stocks. And it's all like Amazon or Facebook, Apple, Google, like the giant and kind of boring companies. And you know, they do generate some kind of returns over time, but not as nearly close as the returns the stock market can give them with the stocks that we talk about right now. You know, like vanadium, lithium, marijuana, etc.
Yes.
And yeah, stuff like that.
Speculation stocks can make you a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. This is just my opinion. Because, like, I had people who, like, bought, like, for example, for Roy, I had people who bought in, like, $10, $12, $14. Like, why are you buying there? You're not even gonna make that much in returns. You should be buying when it's like $8, $7, $6, not when it's like $10, $11, $12, $13, $14. I mean, like in 5 years from down the road, yeah, you can look back and $14 will be nothing. But right now, $14, you know, you could lose a lot of money if the stock market went the other way. Like my brother, like somebody I know who bought, you know, he sold out at like $12 and then he bought back at $14 because he thought he was gonna miss out. So, you know, it's just
FOMO is a big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Also in crypto, same thing.
Yeah.
But, you know, don't get me wrong, I still like big companies. Like I myself hold Apple. I also hold some Amazon. But what I mean is, don't only hold those companies. Like, invest also in speculative things, things that are more exciting. Especially if you have like young viewers, if you have young people and they have time to recover those losses, the potential losses, they can also start investing in like vanadium, lithium, marijuana stocks, etc. Like, don't only hold the big blue chips and hope on some small returns. You can start shooting for the stars. You never know what's gonna happen. And
Yes.
you're gonna learn a lot of things.
I totally agree with you. Put more risky bets when you're young. When you get older is when you want to go for the safest stocks that pays dividends. I totally agree with that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So my second question is it might be a little insulting to you, but this is just my honest opinion. I don't like the word baby investment. Why? I think it's kind of a weird name. Like, why did you choose baby investment? It's like just your opinion, I guess.
Yes, well, I've actually heard that a lot. A lot of people say like it's a weird name, and I also have. I mean, since we are a team now, we also have like clients coming to the company. They're like, it's kind of a weird name. What is it? But after explaining, people find it to be quite neat. So, baby actually stands for, as you can see in the name, become a better you. So it's like short for become a better you, BABY. And as you might have seen from my channel's name before, it was indeed baby investments. But I decided I'm going to push. Yeah, excuse this. I'm going to put like become a better you in it. So it's actually derived from the literal meaning of the phrase. So why would you go and mimic, like I just said, why would you go and mimic other people's investing portfolios when you can come to our channel and learn how to pick your own stocks by seeing, for example, our top 3 or top 5 of the industry that we're looking into.
Okay, let me just so let me just get into this. Let's say if I was to recommend a channel, right? I could say, oh, check out Jeremy from the Financial Education channel. Oh, and then like check out baby investment. People will be like, baby investment? Like what? Like I'm just saying, like the regular person would be like, what? Baby investment? Like I'm a baby? Like that's.
Well, yeah, in a way, actually, you are like a baby. You know the word baby, as in a real person, a baby. You know, babies learn new things every day.
Yeah, I guess so.
They become a better version of themselves every day. So the name is kind of catchy. Like people are going to ask questions about it, and it's like a conversation starter.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Like it's like people will always ask you, oh, why baby? Like what? Like by asking that they memorize it better. So yeah, you do bring a good point up when you say that.
Exactly. So like the meaning of the name really goes like super deep, and we thought about it before, like me and the co-founder, which was actually my girlfriend, and I could go even more in detail about the name, the logo, and stuff like that. But this video would then be at least 2 hours long, so let's move on.
Okay. So when did you get into wheat stocks, and how did you find out about wheat stocks?
So that's actually one of my favorite questions. I first started looking into wheat stocks back in I believe 2010. Nah, that's not true. I started looking into wheat stocks back in
if you looked into wheat stocks in 2010, you'd be fucking loaded right now.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah.
So I was like 14 in 2010. Yeah, I was like 14.
Yeah, you couldn't invest it in 14. Okay.
Anyways, I did start looking into wheat stocks back in the winter of 2017, around I believe it was October. School had just started, so it was around the time Aurora was trading at around $3. I believe that was October of 2017.
So you found the stock just before the big rise?
Well, I remember looking into the company, especially Aurora, and thinking that it could be something great because the idea behind the business was great. But for me, it looked like it was only hot air and hopes for the future. I needed to see something more before I jumped into a position.
Did it take off, and then that's when you decided to buy in because you're like, oh, look, it's going like crazy?
Well, not really. What do you mean, like with Aurora? Because basically Aurora was also the first wheat stock I ever bought, but it was actually, by the time it did take off, so it was like, it peaked around $6.5, I believe, or something like that, and then it dropped back to 5.5 or 5.4, I believe, in the next like 2 days. And then I knew that a rally had started. My technical indicators also said that this was simply a correction and that not that the trend had just gone back down. And then I bought in with an average of, I believe, around $6 the first time. So right under $6. I don't remember the exact number, but it was right under $6. And obviously, I haven't solved any Aurora ever since. Even when I was thinking about it, like when it hit like $16 in the last maybe 2 weeks, I simply moved it to my long-term part of the portfolio, and I'll wait until it makes me like 4, even maybe 5,000% of profits.
Well, I think you missed that 5,000% profit. If you bought it at $2, maybe. You know, the stock is. I think in long term the stock will go to $50. But that's like super long term. I'm saying like probably in another year, maybe 2 years from now, before we see a $50 price tag on it.
Yeah.
That's what I think, anyways. So.
Well, exactly. So that's also the reason that I keep 3 portfolios. I have like a super short-term portfolio that's basically to trade in a month, intra-month, and then I have like a portfolio that I keep for the year, and I have a long-term portfolio that I usually keep stocks in for the next 3 to 5 years. So I have 3 portfolios, and then I simply moved Aurora to the long-term portfolio because honestly, I love this company. I love everything about it. I've watched every interview with the CEO, the management, just everything about the company is neat.
Yep. Oh, too bad you didn't discover my channel 6 months earlier. You would have bought some Aurora stock around $2 at that time.
Yep. Well, I just wasn't there yet. I wasn't watching any YouTube at that time. I was just like all day on the charts. I was trading like Forex and whatnot. I was all day on the charts, trading cryptocurrencies, Forex and whatnot. Okay.
Okay. Now, last question I have for you. What was the first stock you ever bought?
So, yeah, that's also like a great question for everybody, of course, because most people's first stock is like a total failure. But the first stock I ever bought was basically a bank stock. It was something pretty boring for most people out there. It was a bank that my dad was using at the time. And also because I was not yet 18 years old, I had to either wait till I become 18 years old. I was 16. So, or I had to use my dad's ID and his account to start buying stocks, which ended up, of course, using it. Just all the stock ended up and is still like doing very good, but using his account actually ended up as a total mess. So, and not because of the stock. I still love the stock. I still own some of this stock right now, but not with the same broker, because I used this bank as a broker and they charged me around 30 euros in total, and I didn't have much money back then, so I invested 100 euros at a time, but no one told me that I'm paying that much money. The thing they always said was like, the costs don't matter if you invest long term. If you keep the stock long term, you're going to make like 500% return. This is not going to matter. But of course, if you invest 100 euro at a time and it costs you 30 euros to do so, you basically lose 30% even before the money is invested. So that was pretty stupid.
Yeah, that's a high fee. My fee is only like $7 right now, $6.95 per trade.
Yeah, well, you bet. I now have my highest fee on my highest broker is $5 now. I'm not shopping for like any fees anymore. That's like the second thing that I check of a broker. But yeah, basically the stock was a bank stock, Dutch bank. The name is ING Group. So the ticker symbol is ING on the New York Stock Exchange and INGA on the Amsterdam Stock Exchange where I bought it. But I bought it at around 550. I believe. Let me just pull up the chart for myself.
You said ING? Like ING, like I as in
Yeah, like in me. Yeah, like I. Like the eye of Kevin. Yeah.
And then N like in name, and then G as in what? Like good?
As a gangster. Yeah, as a gangster.
Cause right now I see it trading at 11.20 euro. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So I bought it around like 550, I believe. 550 or 540. It was back in 2012. If you can pull up the chart from 2012, you can probably see it. Let me just check this. I don't remember the exact price though, but
yeah, 2012 it was around $5, $6, and now it's like $11. It had a huge decline not too long ago, but you're still up, right? Because you bought it at $5.
Definitely, and also if you look at that dividend yield, being passive income is something
Oh,
that I really love. And if you look at that
that's
dividend
nice
yield,
too. That's 6% dividend yield. That's pretty good stuff.
yeah. And if you that's 6% now for the $11. If you think I bought it at $5, for me that dividend yield is ridiculous right now.
I see. That's good.
So it didn't end up as a total mess, but you know, always look for those costs and never let anyone tell you that the costs don't matter. Especially if the costs are 30%, it's just ridiculous. But yeah, I was 16, naive. You know, I've learned my lesson since then.
Yeah. Well, everybody always, you know, like usually when people buy their first stock, they usually kind of fail. But like I failed on my first stock. I bought Activision Blizzard. Like I was looking at like the numbers. I was like, they're making money, and the stock is declining. Like what? That made no sense to me. I mean, they had some problems back then, but I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just saying that, like, you know, my first stock, my first year, I did horrible, but it did recover, and now the stock is like $70. So I mean, even if I was hold long term on my first stock, I would have been up like hundreds of percent, right? Like 500% at least. So, but you know, right now I'm still in a place where I'm very happy about. I have great stocks. I'm in great companies. They're all speculation, but they're leaders in their speculation. So I mean, yes and no.
Well, exactly. So for like example, like lithium right now, you have like the top 3 of lithium. They are also called the big 3 of lithium. We actually made a video on them. They are like declined, I believe, 25% in the last 52 weeks. So you can now buy kings of industries for pennies on the dollar, basically. That's the time when you buy. You don't buy like in 2 years when lithium explodes. You start looking at it right now. But at least, like you said, with Activision Blizzard, you at least looked at the numbers and things like that of the bank. I just bought what I knew. It was exactly the same bank. So that's the ING. That was the bank that my dad was using for like everyday transactions. So I went there and bought their stock. It was as simple as that. I didn't know much, but I knew that I wanted to start investing. So
well, I do hope the stock goes back to $30 and makes you a butt ton of money. Because it has gone to $30 before. I mean, the stock market crash like destroyed the stock, but and it hasn't recovered yet.
Bank stocks,
but it hasn't recovered yet. But you know, it's a bank stock, so anything's possible. I still think it could recover to $30. But then again, we are entering. We could potentially be entering another recession. So that's
exactly,
because we haven't had one for like the last 10 years. So I'm a little concerned on that part. I would rather get it over with and, you know, not have to worry about for another 8 years. So
it's the same in life. Like if you have your life and everything's going like very good, like you get paid a lot of money and then you find a girlfriend, you find a nice apartment, then you start thinking like, wait a second, this is too good. Something bad's going to happen to.
Yeah.
I have it all the time. Like I used to sell things on eBay and I was selling like ridiculously priced. Like I'd buy a small, like a miniature car for like 20 cents and I sell it for $25, and I'm like, this is going too good. Something's gonna go wrong very soon. So then I ended up selling some fakes. I didn't know they were fakes, but I ended up selling some fakes to the wrong guy, and I had a lot of troubles with that. You know,
I see.
It was just going too good at that time.
Okay. Well, anyways, this video's been long enough. Thanks for check out Baby's channel in the link below. Thanks for the interview. I will see you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to both our channels, and I'll see you guys in the next video. You want to say some closing remarks, Baby?
Especially, thank you for having me on the channel. You're actually like my first collaboration that I'm a guest on another channel. I've had some people over to my channel, so we'd also love to have you on the channel for an interview. We're going to settle this out, but yeah, thank you for having me, Kevin. It was great. Had a lot of fun.
Yep. Okay, thank you. Bye.